Hello and welcome everyone. I am Maria Murray, the Communications Officer of the Grenada Development Bank, and welcome to the final episode, the finale of Financing Forward with the GDB. Over the past 7 episodes, we have been sharing with you about our products, our services, and all the activities that we have been involved in. So we've shared about our mortgage program, our education loans. We've shared about our business mortgage program. So there has been so much that we've shared, our creative loans, our small business development fund. And so the man who started the entire program, he's here for the finale, our general manager, Mr. Royston Cumberbatch. Good afternoon, Mr. Cumberbatch. Welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the listening audience. Those of you who will watch this live, and those of you who watch it on the replay. It's a privilege to be here to bring this, to bring the curtains down, as they might say.
All right. So we've said a lot about our programs over the past few weeks, and now we want to change gears a little bit because the GDB is involved in a lot. Yes, we do financing, we provide loans, but we're also involved in other programs that are essential, that are important in terms of the economic development of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So, Mr. Cumberbatch, tell us about the other activities that the GDB has been involved in that has been important in terms of moving us forward.
All right, thank you, Ray. So, great question. So, I think it's important to point out that as the government bank, apart from GDB core products, we also administer programs on behalf of the government and even other donor agencies which actually may channel the funds through the government. So in recent times, for example, we've done the Enhanced Direct Access EDA Fund, which many of you may have heard about because we had this widely advertising on the radio, and effectively this was actually helping persons to make their home more hurricane resilient or climate resilient, because of course persons can also suffer from things like floods, so they have to put up back walls, and also just prevention, because oftentimes what we realize that when a hurricane hits, if your home was stronger, then you'll be able to resist, these strong winds, etc. So we have been helping persons with that, and we also have, I believe since 2019, we have what's called the G-Cruise project, which is a water resilient project for farmers and hoteliers, where we are helping persons to become more water resilient, and that is through water storage, as well as we also have an irrigation system for farmers. So this is again is a program, it's a green climate fund program that we actually been administering on behalf of the government. And we also receive other funding. For example, we had 5Cs grant, which we still administer. And with the 5Cs grant, we actually lend this fund at 0%. So oftentimes what we do, we have what we call blended finance. So if we have grant funding like 5Cs, which deals with renewable energy and energy efficiency products, and someone comes for a loan, and that could be something like for, say, to put solar energy, or even to put, persons now they have gone solar PV. So instead of having electricity, you have alternative electricity through solar. What we can do is that we can take some of GDB funds and we can blend it with the grant funds at 0% finance. So you, the customer, you end up getting this loan at a reduced interest rate. As a matter of fact, this is an area that I want the GDB to fund some more, and that means that we have to go after more grants. Yes. So this is just to give you a flavor. Of course, in recent times, as last year we had a hurricane. And most of you may know that the GDB has been involved in administering what they call the Beryl Business Reactivation Facility over in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and also for persons in the northern side of the island. and the government has given the bank $25 million to administer. So not the government hasn't given us the bank the money to keep. We administer this on the behalf of the government. Also in recent years, we had things like contract mortgages, where the government actually placed funds in the bank to help persons who can't get a loan. So we continue to administer programs on the behalf of the government. We have some more coming in the pipeline, like we also have things like the Youth in Agriculture program coming. It's actually a GDB funded program. So again, partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture, we'll be helping youths who want to get involved in agriculture to get funded. The program has already started. Persons are currently doing training with the GIDC. We also have the Youth in Business program, where we partner with the Ministry of Youth, and then we also on lend or give loans and grants to youth who want to get into business. And there's a host of others. For example, the Creative Fund, which has been around for a while. Thank you. Just to give you a flavor.
All right. Well, that's quite a lot of flavor in terms of what we do at the GDB, and just you articulating it, you know, seeing how much we do. It's a real eye-opener. So changing gears, and now we come to talking about the vision for the GDB. Where is the GDB headed next, and you know, what's the strategy for the future in terms of continuing to serve the people of this nation in an evolving economy, especially as we're celebrating 60 years of service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique in July?
Thank you. Great question. So last year, the directors all looked at the strategy. We came up with a new strategic plan for 2025 to 2028. And we actually changed the mission and the vision. And the vision actually has, it's to be the national cornerstone of development, and that is enabling opportunities for all. So one thing that we want to make sure that we do is through the programs that we have, that we actually enable opportunities for all. That is, and that comes in many different fashions. So for example, if we have a business, through maybe the business loan, that loan in turns help that business to actually employ persons. Yeah. If we give someone an educational loan, they come back, they may work for someone, they may also open their own business. Yes. We're also looking to do more what's called technical assistance, because remember when we looked at the mission and the vision, one thing that was debated at the board level is that should the GDB really be providing technical assistance? And the answer is yes, because just giving funding alone or financing alone is just not enough to help persons with the development. So we want to get into something like business incubation, where we actually set up an incubator to help small or micro businesses, because oftentimes what we find is that within the first 6 months or the first year, many small businesses fail. We want to do more hand-holding, we want to give you more assistance, and we want to help you, for want of a better word, you know, to creep, walk, run. All right, and of course, once you get big and then you want to start flying, maybe we can even help you to go to a commercial bank. I remember this year I met with the managing director of one of the biggest banks in Grenada, regional bank, and I was saying to them, look, what I would like to see is that the GDB prepares person for commercial banking. So I think enabling opportunities for all comes in different fashions. Sometimes, you know, you may not get a loan from a commercial bank initially. You come to the GDB, we help you, right? Now, you know, you get big, you pass that development stage. We should also want to help you to move on to the commercial bank. So this is just some of the insights in how I see us enabling opportunities for everyone. Thank you.
All right. So just coming to any new products that we may see in the future, any new services, you did speak a lot of the direction, but any new products, services, or maybe digital tools, expanded services?
Yeah, well, interestingly, from my experience in banking, and for those of you who don't know anything about banking, banks get their money only from two sources, and that is from interest income and fees. Yes, so some of the more complex banks, certainly like HSBC, where I worked for, you might even find that actually the fees are a lot. They charge a lot of fees because they have more complex products, and just to arrange these products, they charge fees. just to bring this home to you, like if you have an overdraft facility, that overdraft facility would attract interest and it will attract fees. I see the GDB through its business incubator actually, or just other services that we may offer to you, the public, getting more fees, right? Of course, the way you get fees is to add value. So the more value we add to our customers, then we can charge them a fee. Sometimes we don't have to always provide a service, but we may always partner with persons who provide a service. We don't exactly take a fee from that, but certainly that is one area that we can do. In terms of new products, now student loans, we realize that not everybody who wants a student loan may have the security. So we actually started at the board level looking at how we can maybe give student loans, not just based on security, but based on maybe the person's character or the person's history. Because often a lot of young persons want to go off and study, but them or their parents don't have the security, and oftentimes, that's the dream, dying right there. So we really want to have some products like that. Of course, climate finance is a really big one, an emerging one, and we are going after more what is called climate finance funding, and with more climate finance funding, we'll be able to unveil more climate finance products. Now, you spoke about digital products. I think the bank has to become more digital, of course, but we also need to offer more digital products to persons out there. I mean, through the Creative Fund, we've already been doing that. Yeah, so through the Creative Fund, which we have ministered for the government, we help persons who wants to, maybe people doing photography, people doing all sort of stuff in the digital world. We've already been helping them. But what that particular fund has a limit of up to 50,000, right? So we should be able to give bigger loans, but importantly, we have to be able to value your business, yeah? And therefore, we have to enhance our internal, one of a better word, capacity, knowledge, experience, so to actually be able to value a digital business. But that's something that we can actually get into as we enhance our capacity. Thank you.
All right. And then just to end off, in terms of advice that you would have for entrepreneurs and small businesses, anyone looking to get into business, can you share your wealth of financial knowledge with them, looking at the trends now and looking forward to the future as well?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So I think not just knowledge, but actually practical experience. I think every business that's small, well, certainly the big businesses that you see today, like even like Amazon. Amazon started in Jeff Bezos' parents' garage. I know it's, matter of fact, I saw recently where he sold off, I can't remember how much million shares, how much $1 million. Imagine a business starting in a garage and now selling $1 million of shares. So what I would say to every small business, think big, think beyond where you are, right? You see yourself, big. I mean, I actually have a picture in my office of a lion. It says mindset is everything, right? You're a lion, but you can see yourself as a small cat in the jungle, or you can see yourself as the biggest animal in the biggest, strongest animal maybe in the whole wild world, right? Because your world could be the jungle. Does it make sense? So I think you have to think big. You have to think beyond where you are. Some more tips, I would just say, record your journey, right? Because often you started small, and one of the ways that you record your journey is to have not just a diary, the word actually slipped me, but you just record your journey. You actually, a journal. So you journal everything. You journal, because oftentimes by looking back and see where you came from, it actually gives you, it propels you to go forward, because you actually realize that you came a long way. Yeah, of course, other tips, keep records. Keep financial records, because if you start small and you want to get a bigger loan in the future, and you go to any financial institution, they will ask you, how has your business been doing? And oftentimes you say, well, yeah, I've been making lots of sales. Well, of course, sales, by the way, is not profit, and profit is not cash. So I would say also educate yourself, right? Educate yourself understand the numbers behind your business. Now, I'm an accountant. A person always think accounting is boring. But if you're getting into business, you must understand some basic accounting. Why? Because accounting is the language of business, right? So these are just some of the basic tips, but also know your why. Why are you in business? Because what I found is that when people get into business, it will be difficult. You may have to work longer hours than you work in a job, right? Maybe there is days or months or weeks, you know, you have to cut down on your expenses. Maybe some months you can't even pay yourself, but you have to have that why. Why am I in business? Yeah. And then most importantly, I would say know why you're in business, know who you're serving with what products and service, know your market. Oftentimes, a lot of people go into business and they think that the market is everyone. Know your niche, know your customer. You know, we call it your value proposition. Know exactly what pain are you relieving or what gain are you increasing. So lots of tips. One of the things that I see the GDB getting into more, not directly, but I do see the GDB offering more training and guidance and support, maybe through our partners for you, the small business community. Thank you.
All right, and on that note, Mr. Cumberbatch, I would like to thank you for joining us for the finale of Financing Forward with the GDB. I'm not sure if this is season 1, but we will continue in terms of sharing the real stories, the experiences, and the information that you need to make informed business decisions and to have successful businesses going forward. So if you missed any one of our episodes, I would just like to let you know that we will be posting them on YouTube, so you have the record to go back and take your time and listen to all of the programs. And we have been very thorough going through our products, our services, and the way forward for the GDB. So I am Ria Marie, the Communications Officer of the Grenada Development Bank, thanking you for joining us. Remember, if you have any questions, you can call us at 440-2382. You can follow our social media. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn and Instagram at Grenada Development Bank, our website, grenadadevelopmentbank.com, and of course, WhatsApp 405-3242. So call us today for any needs that you may have. And thanks again for joining us, and wishing everyone a wonderful rest of the day.